Hi. The Digitakt 2 came with a lot of nice new little features, and if you're anything like me, you keep forgetting what most of them are, and then periodically remember bit by bit, and then get to be excited all over again. Well, one of those things is they added a lot of new conditional triggers that really change how you're able to program the sequencer in a very powerful way. Those things could be added to other Elektron boxes, and I hope they do, because there's not really any reason why they shouldn't be. But for now, they're just in Digitakt 2, and I'll show you how you can use those to effortlessly program in a transition with as many layers and changes as you want. Let's get to it. Alrighty, so they added a lot of new conditional triggers. My favorites being the additional of not. So like on these where they have like 1 out of 2, you can have it be like not 1 out of 3, not 2 out of 3. So you have the option to exclude things instead of just being able to add them. So that's pretty fun. It the ones that we're going to talk about here are these last and not last. Those, it will trigger, I'm going to clear that. It will trigger that trig only on the last playthrough before a programmed pattern switch. So say you're playing and you hit to cue another pattern, while it's playing through that last time, all of the triggers that have those triggers, those conditional trigs, will either go or not go depending on if you have it set to last or not last. So with that, you can set up a whole transition. So let's just see this pattern. This is the pattern normally. Okay, so that's the whole thing. And then the next pattern is just like, you know, slightly different pattern with more energy, like a chorus. Anyways, pattern's not fantastic, but that doesn't matter. So that's what it sounds like normally, but let's just say I'm playing, and then let's cue in the next one. So you can hear it did a ramp up, and now we're in the next pattern. And then let's go back to the first one. Drops the kick and the snare because they programmed to do that. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like if you want something to happen, like all of these, I have all these extra kicks towards the end. I have them set to only come in on the last, and then this one drops out on the last, so then that kick doesn't happen. And then I have plenty of other layers. I mean, that's going to be like, you're going to have to make your own transition, of course. And there's even one layer that we didn't hear, so I'll talk about one thing. If you have something on, say, step 1 or 2, or one of the early steps, and then you cue to change the pattern, you won't hear those, because unless you're insanely fast, you'll already have passed that trig by the time you cue the next one, so it won't know to trigger that. So if you want to put things like risers that start on like the first trigger, you would just do a pattern chain, and then that way it will trigger anything even on the first step. So that brings me to another point, is I also forgot how the pattern chains have changed. The pattern chains? The pattern chains have changed this time around. So if you just hit the pattern button, which by the way, I love now that you just hit it and it's not like a timer based thing. But you'll see it says function yes for chain. So do that. And now we're in the chain mode. So I can just do, let's do the first one twice and then the second one twice. And that's it. Let's just hit play. And it'll play through. And then you'll hear on the second time through, there's actually like kind of a noise riser I got set up in the background. You hear that like hum? Nice. So, and then the second time through, it'll drop the kick and the snare on the last run. And then we're back in it. And then if you don't want it to keep the chain, you can just do a pattern and then select the one pattern. And now we're not doing a chain anymore. So anytime that you want to kind of get ready for a transition, it's good to just, like, you're playing, just go to pattern yes, and then that's the chain it's going to do. I didn't use chains really with the Digitakt 1 and stuff, but I feel like with the menu having these improvements, it's a lot easier to do that. And with being able to program in transitions, it makes it a lot more useful. Because otherwise I was just like, why don't I just change the pattern myself? But now I have a reason, because if I use that, it'll actually play this whole transition that I couldn't have done otherwise without, you know, many other steps. Anyways, I think that's the easiest way to do transitions now. It's really fun, and it lets you, while you can set up a whole transition, and then while that's going, you can be like tweaking. If you have other instruments, you can be like doing the, like, you know, band passes on that and raising noise on some external thing. It just frees up your hands to do other stuff. So I think that's really cool. Anyways, hope you found this useful. If you do, you know, just drop me a comment or anything like that, you know. And yeah, have a nice day.